let's just see what happens. What is in front of us? Let's look at this board. So, Mark, we're not allowed to talk about living. God. Oh. Mark won't let me talk about anything on stream. He's so mean. So mean. Huh? Yes. Just a few seconds. Yes, like long before, there's been no mention of parenting or whatever else. Yes, or, Fox News or what the status of rappers are in Christine's bedroom. None of that was on stream. You're safe. Well, that looks like you're right. All right, here's a phone. Here's a phone that somebody said had water damage. Let's see if it actually has water damage or not. That looks a little water damagey up there. Let's see. Let's look around. It definitely has a prior repair attempt on the touch area. But let's look for water. Here, water damage. Nope, nope, nope. That's... nah. Nope. Definitely. Water damage. All right, let's take these shields off then and see. Oh, somebody already took a shield off in here. But still, no water up there. All right, let's... what's going on there? You got some long screw damage in one of these screw holes. Water is there. Water is here. All right. Let's see what else. Water is there. Okay. Is this Dr. Newman around on Mastodon? What the hell is Mastodon? Let's go ahead and peek under this shield. Alrighty. Let's peek under this shield and see what there is to find. I am waiting for Mark to finish up. It is day 1 of course week. Everybody did pretty well today with the student projects. Alright, let's just look for water under this shield. And then we'll edit this quote. Ooh, that is hot. There we go. Now let's take a look. Let's look for water. So I guess 3 Apple authorized stores are getting access to Apple's iPhone calibrator tools. Great. That only the Apple stores had. Hopefully one falls into the wrong hands and is reverse engineered. Oh, fantastic. My guess is that is likely. Has Mark left iPad Rehab now and gone to work with CRISPR machines? Yeah, Mark was like ready to be. He was ready to cure Marfan syndrome last night. It's really funny, one of those things where if you were studying for grad school, some kind of thesis exam, if you had the word Marfan syndrome on a flashcard, Marfan syndrome would say fibrillin mutation, autosomal dominant, Abraham Lincoln, basketball, aorta dissection, and can make your fingers go like touch all the way back to your wrist. That's what would be on it. So I thought it was pretty funny that Dina had the basketball theme going on that. All right, so this is water damage. So we are going to let the Biz team decide what they want to do about editing that quote on the basis of water, since we only address water damaged phones for data recovery. All right, so that one is going to go into the yes, it did have water. All right. Let's see what's next in the queue. This one is a donor board. I wonder how many, here's my question for the microsolderers of the world. How many of you have ever gotten to 9:35 on a day where you started at 8:30? How many of you have ever accidentally fixed a donor board? Just picked up and started fixing the door. Mark, have you ever done that?
I have caught myself like working on and trying to diagnose and fix one of my donor boards. Yeah.
You have?
Yeah.
I have caught myself working on a donor board before, where I like was like, why is this board? Why did I take the CPU off? Huh? It was just like, what am I doing? Oh, okay. This is a donor board. All right, data recovery, iPhone 5S. Let's see what's under exciting door number 2. I'm ready for an easy one. I don't know about you. No touch. Yay! He wants data, no touch on a 5S. Let's see what the deal is. Be an easy connector. Come on, baby. Come on. All right, Mark, what's it going to be?
It's going to be Cumulus, but you're going to replace Sage first.
It's going to be Cumulus, but you're going to replace Sage first. Or Chestnut. It's going to be one of the bad Chestnut caps.
Nope.
And I'm going to find it right away because it's going to have like discoloration. You know what it's going to be? It's going to be digitizer connector has a little tiny mash bit. That's it. That's all it's going to be. That's what it's going to be. Yes. God. You're such a troll. Like even in like you're not allowed to talk about blah 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 blah, and I'm going to make you have the meanest repairs possible mentally. Oh, here's what Mark told the students today. Students were like, so how did you hey Jessa, how did you meet Mark? Mark just yells out, Tinder. Which I thought was pretty funny. We were talking about Tinder the other day. Mark, have you ever actually been on Tinder?
Hell no, I've been married since
I know, but you are a curious soul. So have you ever like downloaded the Tinder app?
No. But I would like to take over somebody else's Tinder app.
Yes.
Jason Gann.
Yes.
I want
to be Jason Gann. Well, I already did that, and it worked out great. I think I've told you that story before. Mm-hmm. It was pretty fun until I got stuck in this conversation where, this chick is like, so what did you like about my profile? And I'm like, yeah, exactly, your giant tits. I was, and so I said something like, well, the biking thing and the sounds like you're an audiophile, and of course I thought you were pretty hot there, if I'm being truthful. And then I'm just like, take this the fuck over, I can't do this anymore. Yeah, that would you have been able to have taken that over? Like, could I have just passed that on to you, and you could have been like the second like level, like cut like support? Like I'm gonna hand you off. I've done the date acquisition. Now we're gonna hand you off to Mark, who is going to do the date, the physical date procurement officer.
Right. Yeah, I could have done that.
Yeah, that would have been great. We could have like a whole system that's just about getting you through the right swipe until you actually have, all right, you're supposed to show up on Tuesday at 5 o'clock at this bar.
You have
Get
to wear
off
a
of
clown
that.
suit.
You have to wear a clown suit with a red rose. Oh, and your name is Charlie. Yeah, that would be pretty funny. All right. Oh, Mark, next time we're together, I'll show you how the Tinder game works. I want to take over Michael Oberdick's Tinder so bad.
Oberdick?
Yes.
Yes. Let me.
No, my turn. No, I got this. Well, okay, what would you say? What would you do for Michael Oberdick's Tinder? That's what I want to hear.
I would set the genders to both and the age limit to the highest window.
Because that's exactly what he wants.
And then I would swipe right on everybody and just.
I would set it to just trannies. Is that an option? Can you do that?
I don't know.
Hee. I did watch one of those things where it was celebrities taking over other celebrities, or just random people's Tinder, which was pretty funny. So my sister had my sister calls me up and she's like, she's got this daughter, and she's like, I channeled my inner mom last night, meaning our mom. My mom was an unabashed snoop. She was a stalker, where she would just sit there, like right in front of you, just taking the dirty laundry pile, and you'd have a pair of jeans in there, and while she's chatting about what she's going to make for dinner, she's rifling through your pants pockets looking for notes from school, and when she finds one, she opens it up and just starts to read it out loud.
Oh, wow.
It's just like, Mom, keep that on the DL, and she would. I can remember, this is the kind of shit you did when you were my age, before we had things like the internet. It would be like, all right, hey Bert, let's synchronize our Swatch watches, and at 3 o'clock in the morning, you call my number, but I will have set an alarm. So at 2:59, I'm going to be I'll be ready with a phone like this, so that when you call me, I'll pick it up when it just goes click, before it actually rings. And yeah, that's a great idea. So we would do shit like that, in addition to kind of like radio dedications and other bullshit. And I can remember sleeping upstairs and being awake at 2:58 and hearing the phone click, and then, hey, it's me. This whole conversation that got about maybe 4 minutes in before I hear Kathy Jones go, "Jessa, hang up the phone." God, how did you know? God. So that didn't work out. So she was all up in everybody's business. So my sister is her daughter's got this Tinder date lined up, and my sister is just doesn't know what Tinder is, and so she finds out that you can know what the first name of the guy that you're going to go meet on Tinder is, but you don't know what his last name is or anything else about him. Mm-hmm. So she found out that this guy used to work at some restaurant where she knows somebody. So she calls up that restaurant. She's like, do you know Daniel, who now works at the car dealership? Oh, yeah, I know Daniel. What's his last name? Who is this? And so she figured out who he was. And then proceeds to mom stalk him, and he turned out to be a nice guy. So, way to go, Mom! All right, let's look at the digitizer connector in the hope against hope that this is going to be easy. And the digitizer connector looks perfect, which means that ain't it. However, I do see a little red on the water damage sticker, so let's go ahead and look under door number 2 and see if we can figure out why this sucker has no touch. Assuming that that's its only deal. All right, what's going on in the comments? Ooh, hoo, hoo. Figure out how to sign up. What? What day is this anyway? What is all this? Hi, Michael Overdick. Well, they didn't bother opening the phone, checking the internet, or even verifying that it's a no fix. They simply said up front that the device would not be easy to fix. Just horrible support in. I don't get it. I thought Michael was going the style of Tesla and abstaining from undesirable distractions of the lady kind. I doubt that. He's just too busy. He's too busy running a business. All right. Let's see what happens if we take the shield off. And let's see what else is going on here. I'm trying to promote my business that does, in fact, open and ensure that it is a no-fix. What are you talking about? What's this no-fix story that I missed the first part of? I want to hear about opening phones. I want to hear about declaring things no-fix without opening them. Let's hear more about that. Fun prank when someone leaves Facebook open. Change their birthday to today. That is a pretty fun prank. We'll have to remember that the next time Christy goes out of town. Because she has gotten tired of when Christy goes out of town, Christy's Facebook just saying, man, I miss iPad Rehab. Those guys are awesome. I don't think she thinks that's funny. Is Christy even still here?
Yeah, she's back there.
All right, make sure you change her Facebook birthday to tomorrow. She said she's not responding because she just quit. Oh. Okay, let's make this bigger so that I can actually see what's going on. I had a customer before that didn't have a fucked speaker. Great, fantastic. It was simply a twisted connector. But all I had to do was bend back further so that its pins would touch the pad on the speaker. Nice. How can I join the training? I'm currently in France and I want to do practically work. You can read the website and sign up just like everybody else. You have to show up, nonetheless. You do have to show up. And you have to figure out how to sign up. Yes, you got it. You got to pass the ID10T test. Yes, you do. New to channel. Tips for a dog piss damaged iPhone 6S. Was my girlfriend's. Girlfriend damage. We talked about that in class today. Told her to turn it off immediately. Very good. Obviously that didn't happen. Oh, she doesn't listen to you? Smells like shit. Won't power on. My advice, get a new girlfriend. You could probably really get a nice upgrade in girlfriend material. Try to get one that will like listen to you and who can consider the sense in what you say when you say things like turn off your phone after the dog pissed on it. Who will go, you know what? That's a good idea. I'm going to do that. Just a little upgrade like that in the girlfriend department. That's what I would recommend. What do you recommend, Mark?
I wasn't paying attention.
Fair enough. All right, moving on. All right, so I don't see any frank water damage on this. Let's find out, could this be the easiest of all easy repairs, the perfect YouTube live experience called this phone didn't actually have anything wrong with it? Cross your fingers. Let's see. Every now and then.
Is that your 5S Touch?
Yes, it is. I haven't done anything to it. I just took it out of the board this entire time. And, told a little Tinder story and, bullshitted and pissed a bunch of people up that are like, can you please just get to the fucking repair? Like, I don't even know if there's going to be a repair. I mean, this could just be, let's talk about CRISPR. Let's talk about the what it would take to edit the Drosophila genome to prevent malaria. You never know. All right. If you can't, you're probably not optimal to sign up for it. That is true. One of the things I did talk about with Dina last night after the stream was done was setting up some kind of an online, are you ready for practical board repair school? Some kind of just a little way to know whether or not you have some basic aptitude that you really need in order to do well at the course. Because I don't want you to come to the course if you're not able to follow the logic and kind of go through the story. The technical proficiency anybody will get over time, but I want for you guys to be able to follow the logic of the repair and to answer questions, be expected to answer questions. So some kind of a basic equivalency exam. So there's a lot of people that don't come because they're like, oh, I don't know enough. It seems really advanced. Well, it's really not. And then there are people that come that are just, sometimes not they're not really the type of mind and thinking that's really, no matter how much time you put into it. If you want things to be formulaic, this is not formulaic. If you want there to be a Please Bro Bible that you can memorize, that's just not how it works. So we do get people that are like, you're going to deliver unto me, Jesus of iPhones, the Please Bro Bible of all the solutions there is just poured into my head. And that's not really how the course works. It's about figuring out, learning how to build your own solutions and figure them out. All right, let's see what happens if we prompt this thing to boot. All right, hey, iPad Rehab says, Amy, the logic board looks like it's 0 damage. It sure does. So which means it's gonna boot right up and work. I'm so excited. This is gonna be awesome. Yay. Boot right up and work. Okay, it's got an Apple logo. This is gonna boot right up and it's gonna work, and then we're just gonna be done with the stream, and it's gonna be my favorite stream ever. Let's see. Michael Oberdick, pretty interesting video on the home button iPhone 7 Plus. All right, connected to iTunes. All right, we just need touch. Oh, don't disconnect, you piece of shit. Come on. It doesn't matter if the okay, here we go. Touch, work. Yes! Yes! Love this repair. Yay! All right, where's the fucker's passcode? Because it is getting really hot on my finger back here. This is great. All right. Yay! Love this. This is my favorite ever. Yay! Trust this computer. And it is hotter than hell on the NAND, but doesn't matter. All right, let's see. Yeah, it's detected. I got a path to data, baby. Trust. Yes. Path to data solved. Boom. Done. Yes. Now that was awesome. That would have been a fantastic YouTube live experience. Hello, person who sent this phone in for data recovery. Yes, it just needed the master's touch, and it works great. So here's your data, and wasn't that fun? Now, are you on Tinder? Because we got some time to kill. All right, that is a great little story there. Yay. All right, now let's see if what the undoubted, I bet there's going to be questions in the chat called, are you going to charge these people for data recovery? Yes, I am. All right, let's see. First thing I send to girls on Tinder is a $10 off screen repair coupon.
Was that overdue?
Yes. That is funny. I was talking with Lewis about dating the other day, and about like him answering the phone as, what model MacBook do you have? Which I thought was pretty funny. It's sort of a little troll to pretend that he has forgotten their number. All right, next up. $10 off screen repair. That's pretty funny. Memories of what life was like before the internet. Walkie-talkie, sneaking around at 3 a.m., hiding in bushes in the hope that the girlfriend's parents don't see you hiding after knocking over the bin. Yes. Here's another thing Kathy Jones did. I also snuck out one time, and I can remember it was just the most horribly embarrassing thing ever, because it was one of these things like, all right, we're all gonna just go home, we're all gonna sneak back out, and we're gonna meet down at the payphone by the pier at like 11 o'clock or midnight or something like that. Okay, we're all gonna do it. So I was so dumb. I was dumb enough to actually stuff my bed. And so dumb, I actually said, hey, Mom and Dad, I'm really tired. I'm just gonna go to bed now. You don't need to check on me. God, stupid idiot. Like dumb. Like full retard.
5?
I was not 5. I was like 16.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so dumb. Because I was just like racking my brain. Like, well, of course they're going to come check on me. Like, how do I like leave now? You know, like I didn't want to be late for sneaking out. You know, that's not cool.
How early were you sneaking out?
Yeah, really. You're supposed to sneak out at like 2 when they're
Yeah,
there.
well, you know, I didn't want to fall asleep like my cousin Chris did. So he didn't sneak out at all. And he's like the bad kid. And then I'm the one that got in trouble. So, you know, it was super obvious. All right, next phone up. This is won't charge iPhone 5S data recovery. Fantastic. I don't care if the phone works. I want the photos. All right, phone suddenly stopped working, will not charge. Great. Local shop said battery had leaked and damaged the board. Really? I'll be the judge of that, which I bet did not happen.
No, it happens all the time.
Does not. All right, follow-up question. Have you ever seen that happen even once?
No.
Neither have I. But that doesn't mean anything. So I sneak out the window like an idiot. And then I hunt around and I go down to the pier, and there is my friend Heather, who's also snuck out. And then there's this older guy, Clay, at the down at the pier. Let's look at the board. And Clay is drinking beer. Clay is about 17 years old.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And so the funniest thing about it all is that one of the other kids that was supposed to sneak out has started coming down to the pier, and then he sees my parents hiding in the bushes. So he then has this whole like report later on him spying on my parents spying on me at the pier. And they did not stop making fun of me for this for years. So this kid says that my parents went like this in the bushes. Ready, Bill? Ready, Kathy. And they like linked hands like superheroes, rose up out of the bushes and start marching towards me at the pier. And I see them coming, and this other kid is watching this whole thing unfold, like, and it was just absolutely mortifying, especially because my dad comes down there and he says, and by the way, Clay Tucker, the 17-year-old, has by now pitched his Budweiser into the bay right there, and so Dad comes down there and he's like, Mr. Tucker, we don't want you or your beer to come down here anymore. I don't know what you're talking about, Mr. Jones. Sure you do. B-E-E-R. And then Dad points to the beer bottles that have now started to float back up in the bay behind him. You know, it was beyond mortifying. And for a long time after that, all I heard was, ready, Bill, ready, Kathy. So I got seriously grounded for that. What an idiot. So dumb. Did you ever sneak out, Mark? All the time at 2 o'clock in the morning, nobody ever knew?
All the time. No, my
Guess
Mom,
what? Mark's mother.
Mom found out and she nailed my window shut.
She nailed your window shut?
Yeah, but then when she was at work, I
Unnailed it shut.
yeah, well,
I crowbarred that shit open.
I worked the nails out, but then made it so that the hole was like stretched so I could put the nails back in, so it would still look nailed shut.
That is pretty good. Alright. iOS 11 beta is actually okay. Alright. Is that an FPC connector protection barrier sticker on Jess's finger? Maybe. Could be. Cry, your Amazon link for the ultrasonic cleaner is sold out. Buy the ultrasonic cleaner from Lewis. So go to mailin.repair and buy from him for sure. Send the girlfriend to you for girlfriend training. That's going to be extra. Let's see. Folks who blame resistors. I have an IT background and work as a network admin, but no electronics experience besides knowing what a capacitor and resistor is. Is this course too advanced for me? No, you are going to know more than about 80% of the people that come to the course. If you already know what a capacitor is, you are way ahead of the game. Don't you think that's true, Mark? If you already know what a capacitor is. I mean, that's the thing. I don't know where this whole like, oh, it's an advanced course came from. That's not really true. It's not an advanced course. It's the only course that teaches you how to think like a scientist when you look at a schematic. You don't need to understand any of it. It could be written in Chinese. It doesn't matter. It's all just random symbols. But you're going to learn a basic understanding of what these symbols mean and be able to kind of categorize faults so that you can quickly come up with a plan for what do you need to do. So a basic plan of how a phone basically works, and then a real, kind of general plan of how to troubleshoot an open-ended problem, when to know when to say fuck it, and how to just have a really logical approach, like this phone we just did. You don't have a board problem until you know you don't have a parts problem. So step 1, look around. Step 2, I don't see anything that looks bad, so let's rule out parts. Bing, got it. All right, so this one, same thing. This board doesn't look like there's anything wrong with it. There's no water damage. I don't see any damage. And therefore, given that it's a 5S, most likely case, if this is indeed not booting, is going to be a TriStar failure bringing down software or a data line, since there is no other sign of any kind of other damage. No long screw damage, no nothing. So in that case, let's see what happens if we boot it on a DC power supply, knowing that if it's indeed a TriStar fault, we would expect it to have kind of a data line type reading. Let's see what it actually does. There we go. Guess this won't be a pet board. I just watched Lewis's stream where he just bolted and failed to fix the board that he drilled a hole into, which did make me want to dig out one of my pets, my iPad Air with a hole in it that I did fix, and kind of go through that, because that video was so long and cut together with so many pieces over so many days, burning it, catching it on fire, drilling it out, mapping out all the traces, blah blah, that I never did get it. YouTube never took the whole thing up. It would say it would upload and would get a chunk of it done and then it would quit. Lame. Alright, so I'm gonna just put on a screen for no reason because I don't expect to see anything on the screen. And we are gonna confirm that we are not actually in the same category as the first one, although that would be fucking awesome. What if this one just turned on? Oh, it's a bad battery, it's fine. Man, that would be great. Then I would just kind of start like a master's touch service where you just take the board apart, put it back together, and then it works. That would be cool. That is always funny at the course where one kid today was like, this board has no power. Oh, really? Because that thing says it powers on just fine. Oh, well, I didn't really have a chance to look at it. Okay. All right, let's see. I predict this is going to be a 70 milliamp phone, but you never know. We might get lucky again. All right, here we go. Where's this fucker's passcode? Yes, exactly. Customers like it rough. It's hot. Okay. iPad rehab. Did you find the pet fireboard? Yes, I did. I've got my pets right here. Yeah, here's my pet board, one of them. Is this it? Yeah, it's got a hole in it right there. I will kind of bust that out and do a review of my pets. I'll do like a zoo stream. All right, let's prompt this thing to boot and see what happens. Probably will get 99% downloaded and then plink, it dies. Yes. All right, let's get the battery DC power connected. Prompt to boot, and it is kind of booting. Oh my God. Oh, red screen. All right, thank God. So it looked for a second like a normal boot sequence. But then it did red screen, which is generally not a good sign at all. Red screen. All right, let's grab a battery. First, let's look at the battery connector area. Not a good sign, but let's see. All right, so I'm gonna stick it on a known good battery and prompting it to boot with a known good screen, nothing connected to the front camera or anything like that, and we will see what happens. All right, so it just kind of clicks off, but let's see if it is boot looping and will detect or not. Looks like straight up boot loop. Okay, so let's stop it right there. Hold your horses right there. So for this one, just because it's a common fault, I'm going to change TriStar, and then I will try to update the software and see if it will pass that. Yes?
Is a red screen related to TriStar or just the camera thing?
I don't know the answer to that. Let's see. What was the last red screen I saw? Red screen is what we mostly know is that it's related to definitely something like proximity sensor, ambient light sensor, or something like that. And I think it can also be just kind of like a generalized failing NAND, or I can't read the NAND, kind of like a blue screen freak out. I think it can probably also be TriStar related. Probably also bad battery, but it's sort of classic. You don't see it a lot, but it's sort of classic for screen-based and parts problems, you know, kind of up in the top of the phone. This one, since it doesn't have any screen parts problems, it's probably likely an I2C, not the same one that the whole phone uses to talk to everybody, like one of the ones that are just for like proximity, ambient light sensor, and stuff like that. But what do I know? All right, we're going to change TriStar. Do you have a red screening phone?
I do.
What is it? What's the deal with it? Tell me about it.
It is here for a charging problem, but cares about data. So I was looking at it.
What kind of phone?
Fide.
Oh, just like this? Is it this one?
Nope.
All right, well, stick it on the pile. You want to take the board out? We'll do TriStar on it and whatever else. All right, well, let's make it so you guys can see it. We'll take out TriStar on this. All right. I don't want to think about the pre-internet days. Man, it's getting hot because the CPU needs rehotting. Payphone by the pier. Sounds murdery. Oh yes, we did a little light murder on the weekends, you know. Nothing anybody'd ever link us to. Nothing like that. We were professionals. We were pros. Some tall bamboo out there. Payphone by the pier. Dump the bodies in the bay. Weigh them down with Clay Tucker's beer cans. Alrighty, let's clean off those pads. Technology is bad for relationships. Everybody looks at their phone. People would actually have conversations back and forth when I was a teenager. Yeah, man. It's bad for everybody. It's bad for young moms. You know, you go to the zoo and it's remarkable that you can sit there and watch, you know, like there's 6 people and they're all like watching, like, oh my God, look at the manatee just ate the lettuce. Oh, it's so amazing. Isn't that amazing? We've been waiting all day for it to kind of come to the window. Wow, it's incredible. But they don't say that. They just take a picture and text all their friends that aren't there. That's what everyone does. Everyone takes the same picture of the same event, says nothing to each other, the other people that experience the event. They say not a word. Take a picture and text it to people that are not there, who go, yeah, it's pretty cool, but I wasn't really there, so not that cool. It is a sad, sad state of the world when all we do all day is sit in a box and enable people to do more of it. Sad, sad monkeys we've all become. Sad, sad time. All right. Speaking of monkeys, Mark's on a diet. Oh. Not allowed. Not allowed. All right. Let's hear what the world of the internet has to tell us about balancing a busy life, especially during course week, where we don't have a lot of time to do things like cook at night or in the morning or ever. How do you balance your desire for a healthy life, like making Mark go swimming with me at the gym tomorrow morning at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning? How do you balance healthy?
At 6:30.
Wait, what?
I think the high school one is 6:30 in the morning.
Wait, the high school pool is open at 6:30?
Yeah,
Sweet.
every day, but they definitely
Awesome. That is awesome. Love that. So today I woke up and made the iPad Rehab team member breakfast, which was a bunch of chopped up celery, red peppers, some onions, some whatever other vegetables that I could find, broccoli, cauliflower. I added some green olives. I added a can of leftover diced tomatoes that I had opened the night before and had left out on the counter all night, just so that it would have like immuno-boosting properties.
Little bacteria in there.
Yeah, exactly. Little bacteria, little, kind of like keep your body interested and, fending stuff off. And then I cooked up some eggs, some sunny side up eggs, cooked. More, not really cooked, more like burned. What I actually did, this is before Mark woke up. Whoops. What I actually did was intend to cook them, but I was like, not going to use, not going to use any fucking oil or butter or anything like that. No. Not getting in trouble with Mark's wife. Fuck that. So I just kind of let them like burn in the pan, and then I just sort of scraped the part that wasn't burned. But I thought it looked pretty awesome. Like, it did look like, wow, that's actually like sunny side up eggs. Pretty sweet. So that's what we made for iPad Rehab team member breakfast. But that's kind of a pain in the ass because you got to do like cooking and dishes and whatever. So what would you guys do? I remember when Michael Oberdick came to the course that he packed something like 3 dozen hard-boiled eggs. That's what you should do, Mark. Just like have a coat filled with hard-boiled eggs that you're like 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock. Yeah, this is a good idea. All right.
I have about 10 dozen eggs at my house, so.
Yeah, 10 dozen eggs. All right. Says the guy who grew up in the age of people hiding behind newspapers. Usually when battery leaks, it is time for flame and smoke. Did we even look in this housing? Oh, let's look at the leaky battery. We forgot about that. Here's the leaky battery. What a horrible mess. Oh my God, the battery looks beautiful and not even puffy. It's leaked everywhere. Look at that. It shit out some kind of blue marker. Wow.
All right, I'm done.
Are you? Sweet. Yep. All right, then let's get the fuck out of here. All right, let's see if this will, if this sucker is going to update. That would really be the last thing. Alrighty, we are going to stick a camera or a screen that has a home button in the event that we need a home button to force it into update mode and see if it passes update. What was that?
The one I set down?
Oh, that one? Wait, where? Is it this?
Right here is the one that.
All right, so this is all like data recovery. So this is something for me to look at. Let's stick it in this pocket. All right. Okay, so let's just see what the deal is with this, and then let's go make Marcus Helen. Okay. All right, so we'll try to boot it first, as normal, expecting it not to boot and to need to be put in recovery for a software update, but maybe we'll get lucky, I don't know. All right. I can eat 50 eggs, says Cool Hand Luke. That is pretty sweet. All right, so this is boot looping, but it has a new TriStar. It has no other obvious physical damage. So we can, this is either going to be a case where NAND is corrupted and there's no path to data, or it's going to be something like the battery, which is very likely. The battery had a gas gauge error, and while the battery was not blowing up, it may have been blowing up the gas gauge errors on the log, or maybe this was some kind of a straight up TriStar failure. So let's try to get a home button attached so that we can force it in recovery mode.
I'm going through and desperately searching for more iPhone 6 on buttons. So I guess when I order phones, I don't need to order iPhone 6 on buttons.
I think there are a bunch of iPhone 6 home buttons that are up here.
Up there too?
Yeah,
There
I
are
feel.
some in the drawer that I ordered
Yeah.
too long ago.
Christy's looking through her stash back here of various miscellaneous parts.
Various miscellaneous hordes of
No.
things.
No, my job that I have been not doing.
Oh.
So filing all of this stuff that you gave me. that's really
Great.
short.
All right, so we booted it holding down home, and now we will go ahead and let iTunes reveal its fate. All right, so let's let iTunes try and update this mofo. All right, so we'll see what that fails with, and that might be the end of the line for us. We'll see. All right, let's catch up with chat, and then we'll be out of here. I did my electronics design stream last night, doing the first proto of the iPhone battery charge discharge monitor test logging device. That sounds a lot like what Ben Duffy's building. You guys should get together on that for sure.
Yeah.
Doesn't it sound like his board that he designed like a year ago? You guys should totally chat. All right. I gotta check your channel out, Paul. Sounds interesting. All right. So this is any info on what Apple considers when assessing shops to be certified? Yes, they consider all sorts of bullshit. Like, do you error 4013? Fan-fucking-tastic.
That's exactly the one I wanted. 'cause
That's
that
my
means you can go
favorite one. Well, not really, because it kind of dropped the connection.
home.
Damn it, god damn it. We'll give it another try here. Whoops, where'd you go? Where'd you go? Well, by the way, you can drive anytime. We have
Oh
two
yeah, I
cars.
forgot. That's right.
Yeah, see?
So am I driving the truck? Is it the big black one?
Yeah, it's a big black one.
Big black Ram?
Big black Ram. Big black.
That's
all
a nice
black.
looking truck.
Yeah. All right, we'll let that go. Are we drilling a board? Not today. iPad rehab. I'll have to talk to Ben then. Last spoke to him, we were talking about sorting out the iPhone 7 home button. Alrighty. Yeah, so it just decided to reboot for no reason when it was just still on extracting software step. Alright, so let's see what happens when it actually tries to update. Update, mofo.
See ya.
See ya. Alright, so it decided to put itself in recovery again. Let's see if it's getting hot. I do feel a hot spot. I feel a hot spot that we need to investigate. I do feel a hot spot. All right. So something is making this kind of boot loopy. Let's see if we can figure out something kind of quick. All right, so there was a definite hot spot. And where was it? All right, let's see if this is cool enough. It is to freeze spray this mofo. Alrighty. Let's look for a hot spot. Newman was an accomplished professional racer. That's why he left acting. All right, let's freeze this down. And see if we can see any kind of a hot spot. Microscope. All right, and a battery. And I feel like it was on this side. Alright, I will tell iTunes to update and see if anything gets hot. See how that really seemed to kind of come from Sage? Seemed a little sagey. I asked her if she'd talked to a FLIR distributor to test their new benchtop thermal imager that's meant to replace the lip test. Why would you want to replace the lip test? Lip test is great. I don't know why you would want to do that. Does your air duster have bitter rent? Huh? If not, what is it? I don't know what that means. Alright, so it seems like it's still kind of continuing to boot loop itself. Let's try that again. All right, clicking update. Rips that off. Oh, the battery disconnected. Boo, boo, boo. Update. Prepare to update. There we go. I really need to get a better mic for my recording, says Paul Daniels. All right. Some are R134A. No idea what that is. iTunes will never work until you erase the NAND. What? That is not true. Tigris has been electrically insulted on this 5S. Really, because the 5S doesn't have a Tigris. So that's pretty hard to do. Tad low today. I am neck deep in new location setup. Get one of Lewis's old ones as payment for being awesome. Lewis old one what? Oh, microphones? I don't think he has any old ones. Let's see. And you guys are talking about some kind of inhalers getting high and who knows what else. Freon. I've been looking for a diagram on the Touch ID chip. I was thinking about using my oscilloscope to try to figure it out. Figure it out to like recording the wave pattern and decoding it. That would be a waste of time. All right. I mean, none of that is. That's all a total waste of time, if you ask me. But what do I know? All right. Let's see if we can figure out whether or not this board actually has a hotspot. So I'm going to hook it back up to DC power supply. Spend maybe 5 or 10 more minutes on it, and then I need to get out of here as well. All right, so let's see what we can figure out. So it's hanging out as a 70 milliamp board, which is typical because it would be in recovery mode. It would be in recovery mode now. Oops. It is dang hard to keep the battery connected here. I think I'm gonna kick it out of recovery. And see if I see a hotspot. All right, let's see if I kick it out of recovery. Let's see what happens. Go back to a battery. Prompt. And let's get it out. Jessa, tell Sunday. Gabe says he loves you, Sunday. She's not here. Let's see. She is sound asleep. Let's see. What is the reboot? Exit recovery mode. All right. Exit recovery mode. All right, now let's see what you do. Let's see what you do. So we are just messing around here trying to see if this board actually gets hot anywhere. It seemed like it was. Seemed like it was for a second. But it is mighty hard to hold that battery in there. Mighty hold, mighty hold. Get in there, piece of shit. You fucker. That can't be right. Why are you telling me that you have a big ass short now? I think I blame the battery connector. Piece of shit. Let's grab any other battery connector except for that one. That one has been going pretty good for a long, long time. Let's try one of these. Because I don't believe you. I don't believe you. This one doesn't even have it soldered on at all. Not you. Let's get any other one. besides the two of you. Let's get one that 5S actually looks like it works. And that looks really janky for 5S. Alright, let's go get one that I can stand to use. Alright, where's some battery cables? Here's some battery cables. Let's use this one. Because I don't believe you for 1 minute. I don't believe you for 1 minute. All right, what say you now? What? Thing says he's got a big ass short. Something is not right. What is up with that? Let's eliminate variables. Let's look for anything weird or stuck in the board, because a short just doesn't come up out of nowhere for no reason. What is on here that's making a big ass short? Because that don't make no sense. Alright, that looks like a big ass VCC main short. Alright, that's definitely going to produce some heat. So what is getting hot? Ouch. That is getting hot. Not screen. Show me the heat. Show me the heat. You? You're getting hot? Well, that doesn't really help me, because you really can't possibly be the cause. How about this dude? How about you? Oh, you guys can't see that. This guy's telling me that he's getting hot, but I think he's going to be the Q1403 of the 5S, although I could be wrong. But this guy seemed like it was getting hot as well. Let's see. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're some charging thing and you're not supposed to be going to ground, bro. Alright, let's see. Let's see who you are. Who are you? Jessa, you taught me at your first course you ever taught that you find them by putting your balls on the board. Yes, well, my balls I use extensively and I have to give them a rest. C5202 is not a capacitor that is present in the 5S. Alright, so let's go on a hunt. Let's see what the hell this is. Say my name! Say my name! Alright, let's see. 5S. Oh, I really need to go to bed. Where is this dude? Hey, fucker. Who are you? Who are you, bro? Yeah, I've seen you before, and you are almost always under the PMIC. Yeah. So you are, let's go on this dude. And you guys are on screen. This guy here, this guy. PPMU charge. Yes, this guy is, this short I'm pretty sure is a PMIC short all the time. So you take VCC main and you you're not supposed to have a path to ground on that side, and if you do, you're making everybody have a path to ground. So let's take off that fucker and see if that goes away. All right, so let's do that. Let's take him off and see. So we have a short on that, I think, charging coil. Which I'm kind of tempted to just replace the PMIC because that's generally what causes it. Pretty tempted to do that. Pretty tempted to do that. I think if I just take off that coil, it'll just, you know, kind of continue to have that short in there, and that will fuck things up. But I'm also pretty tired. What to do? All right, what to do? All right, let's just take that off. Off with your head, PMIC. Off with your head. Because I feel pretty sure that I've seen this short before and that it is within the PMIC. All right, let's go ahead and get that off. Ready? Let's clean that up. And see what the deal is. We're going to not braid these pads. Watch me not braid these pads. Braiding is almost always a bad idea for iPhones. And we get a lot of braid damage. All right, that looks good. Braid damage. Kind of like brain damage, but different. All right, let's see if that was a giant waste of time. Are you still short, little coil dude? Are ya? Tell me. You're not. You're not? Well, then I'm glad I didn't take you off. All right, good to know. So it was definitely, as predicted, internal to the PMIC. So our VCC main short was through that coil. VCC main was short because of its path through this coil into the defunct PMIC, which then had an inappropriate internal path to ground. So called that one. And let's see. make some fluffy pillows. I think I already did. All right, let's see. So the 5S PMIC is the 338 1216. And let's see if I have some of those. I'm super tired though. Are you 338 1216s? 338. Yes, you are a match, bro. Alrighty. Let's take a look at the underside of you and see how well China has reballed you. Seems okay. Alright. Well, that's the old one. Let me examine. And this, to me, is good enough. Good enough. Alright, here is the new one. Yankees. Alright, let me check my A1 dot, just because I'm pretty tired and I would not want to make a mistake on that. I would not want to make a mistake on that. Yep, so A1 is Beachfront Avenue. Pretty sure like that. But let me just make sure. A1 is toward those guys. F. Alrighty. Let's get some heat sinks up in here. Some heat sinks in the house. Piggies. All right, let's get this show on the road here. Okay, let's let that cool down. Let's see if we're back at square one, which is most likely. Alright, so we're gonna let that cool down and see. I love watching the ICC themselves. I analyzed the PMIC. What does that mean? Analyze the PMIC. Okay, so that's to kind of cool down on its own. Continued to cut his grass with a bad tornado way in the background. That's pretty funny. Chris Long has bad luck on PMIC. What bad luck? What does pin 5 on PMIC lower right corner mean? I don't get it. Drill out the app logo. Three or four PMIC shorted phones last week. That's pretty unusual. I almost certainly did this with the freeze spray, which is why freeze spray is generally not your first tool. That would be my guess. This did not have the short. I put freeze spray on it, and then it did have the short. So it is pretty unusual in the absence of prior repair attempt to get a PMIC problem. They just don't fail a lot. They don't fail a lot on their own. You can get PMIC problems from things like freeze spray, or you can get PMIC problems from like it comes in with some charger damage in specific models, but it's not something that generally happens kind of on its own. All right, I think I'm too tired to continue on here, but let's just kind of get to a stopping point. All right, so PMIC is successfully put on here because I have my PMIC, I'm pretty confident about that, and it is showing normal VCC main. And I have gotten rid of my short that I had over at this coil. So that's all better. So now I think we're going to be back to where we started from. Well, let's just see. I don't think that short certainly wasn't there this entire time. Well, let's just see if this phone is still boot looping and still unable to update. Let's find out. I will go ahead and put a battery on it. And I will see what happens. Actually, we'll go with DC power supply. Man, I am tired. This is way too late to still be here. All right, 5S. What say you, 5S? What say you? Prompt. And it just kind of does the same old thing, hanging at around 70 milliamps, which is generally kind of a software kind of defect. All right, let's see if iTunes will detect it or not. Super tired. Oh, super tired. What time is it? 11. God damn it. Let's see. Messenger chimes. All right, so this phone is just hanging out and pulling like 100 milliamps. So that is going to be where I'm going to stop on this one. 3 in a row on one stream. Really? That sounds really unusual. I find that hard to believe. This phone is not a PMIC problem. This is a PMIC got damaged because I put cold on a board, which is one of the risks of doing that strategy. All right, if I'm unable to solder small caps, can blah blah, I don't know, come to school. No one knows the answer to my question. I don't know what your question is. I don't know what you're talking about. Did everyone give up on the iPhone 7 home button function? Well, that was just that's just play. Like, that's not actually a problem anybody's trying to solve. It's just an understanding. It's like research. It's sort of, hey, I wonder what part of the iPhone 7 home button connector and its relationship to the Turtle IC controls just the home button function. There doesn't seem to be any way that you could do anything. You know, you can't really circumvent that. You could just understand it. So that's, you know, one of these ongoing things. It would be fun to understand that. I don't think anybody's trying to, I don't think anyone believes that there's going to be a way, a practical way that you could circumvent that, and certainly not one where you could circumvent that when you already have assistive touch if you really needed it to function as a home button, and you already have the option to go down to the Apple Store and get a $129 new screen. So there's a very limited motivation of a problem that's really worth solving. So it's just a problem that's worth understanding for the sake of understanding. That's all. So it's kind of every now and then, if we have an iPhone 7, we'll mess around with it. But it's not really something that's a research project that has a goal in mind. It's just for the sake of understanding. Do you want to know what I discovered? Sure. What did you discover, Amy? Save those for streams that are experimental. I don't know what you're talking about. You can't replace a cap with a wire? Oh my God. Jesus. No, never. Jesus. Faculty member in the right direction. What? I had alluded that connecting personal devices secured something else. Jason, you shouldn't be doing work if you think you can replace a cap with a dead short. Yes, Jason, you should put the fucking phone down and stop fucking with it until you can understand basic fundamentals that even a hairdresser who had never seen an iPhone before understood within day one of coming to Practical Board Repair School. If you're not willing to put in the time to watch the hours of free YouTube information on my channel, Lewis's channel, lots of everybody else's channels, then don't just fuck around with it. That is not cool. That is definitely not cool. All right. What else? Caps are not supposed to have continuity. You cannot use a wire. That's right. Chris Long thinks it may be what the shop that is sending them is doing prior to them arriving to his bench. Like what? It's a big question. What to name this video? Delete me now. It's, I don't know. I'll definitely take suggestions. All right, let's see. Experiments. Yeah. What are you talking about? Antenna baseband? No idea. I was asking what could be the problem when an iPhone 6 shows randomly no service. Even the SIM and the SIM card is okay, will be red and asks for even the SIM card is okay and will be red and asks for the PIN code. Searching no service on iPhone 6 is a signature problem of a failure of the baseband CPU. Throw the phone away. There is no solution to that. That is a robust, long-lasting solution. The baseband CPU is unique to the phone, and when it starts to fail like that, it will be intermittent, it will get worse, and there is no reliable repair for that. Chris Long had a bad run of luck one day and hit at least 2 bad PMIC. It may have been 3. What made you think it was a bad PMIC? That's what I want to know. The baseband PMIC is not I don't believe that's the M1 pad on the baseband, but it is a bad baseband CPU. So there is no baseband IC. There's a half a board that's dedicated to baseband. The particular signature problem in the iPhone 6 is the baseband CPU. All right. I replaced the antenna, which didn't fix the problem. That's right. Angry Jessa. Yes, Jessa is way too tired and needs to be done. I replaced a cap with a wire once. It didn't hold real well on the pill bottle. Gotcha. Alright. Okay, that's not good. Is it easy to fix? No, it is not. It is impossible to fix. Give up now. All right. Oh man, super tired. Name it Tinder Talk. That's pretty funny. That the PMIC can hold a short circuit until you remove it by cleaning off the bottom of the IC. What? The PMIC can hold a short circuit until you remove it by cleaning off the bottom of the IC. It sounds more that that it itself is part of a circuit. So just by taking it off, that will create an open circuit, and so you will then have relieved a path to ground. For example, the PMIC that we have, if we were to take the time and measure on the upside down part of this would have an internal short on that charging circuit line internal to the chip itself. But once you take it off, it would appear that that short has now been relieved because the short was internal to this chip. It was electrical damage to this chip, or electrical damage because of this freeze cold thing, which is probably more likely. All right. Capacitors are not a dead short, which is what happens if you bridge with... Okay. Kind of. Okay, that's really sad. Right now it's working since 3 days. Great. Then you should use the next day to buy a new phone. All right. Okay, so I'm tired. So the deal with this phone here, this 5S, is that it probably all along had a corruption of the NAND, most likely. That would be my best guess, since I saw a red screen, which is one of the ways that NAND failure happens. That would be the most likely case, because there is really no other external damage, because it had some unusual detected by iTunes behaviors. That all kind of points to NAND related failures. I don't see anything else wrong with the board. However, I did try to see if it would update, and it didn't fail update. It was just not able to maintain a connection to USB, which is a bit of an unusual fault. So I, of course, replaced TriStar, just a matter of housekeeping. And then I felt, as I was holding it, that it seemed like there might be a hotspot that seemed like it was by Sage, which is a little bit of an odd finding by itself. So I wanted to investigate that, and in doing that, I wanted to have that potential hotspot really declare itself. So I used freeze spray, and did that a few times, and I try to use that as a last resort when you're already kind of, this is unlikely to, the chance of recovery is very low when you're really kind of down to, this is strongly suggestive of an unrecoverable NAND failure. At that point, then you might as well speed up and kind of make sure you leave no stone unturned. So in this one, I used freeze spray, and subsequent to using freeze spray, it had a full short on VCC main. And that's one of these reasons why I think freeze spray is a fantastic tool. And it's a great way to really quickly highlight a particularly strong short. And I felt that this one was, which is why I used that. But you have to know that it kind of has this sort of side effect of sometimes causing damage to PMIC. So for example, if Chris Long is getting a bunch of phones that all actually have PMIC faults, which I didn't see, I don't know if that's true or not, then did the prior repair shop just bust out of the gate with, hey, let's see what's wrong with the board, put freeze spray all over it? You don't want to do that. This is a tool, but it's not your first tool. It's something that you use when you're otherwise going to declare that this board is not solvable and you can't find anything using other methods. So after that, I found the source of the short was within the PMIC as expected, and that wasn't there before freeze spray. Removed and changed the PMIC, and now it's kind of like back to this sort of beginning state, which is I can't load the software, I can't boot. So, I might come back and circle back to this phone and, see what else I can do for it, but I would not be hopeful with this. I think it was all along a failure of the NAND chip, which in iPhones it's really tough when you get a failure of the unique chips. Flash memory chip or the CPU or the baseband EEPROM chip. Really not much you can do when one of those important chain of trust chips are failed. That's really no path to data. So we got an easy one and we got a not so easy one, and that kind of all works out. So somebody will get good news and somebody will not. Freeze spray pitch, countering Lewis's anti-freeze. Lewis doesn't use freeze spray because he is too cheap. Although I'm pretty sure that he ordered something from me, and it might have been freeze spray. Just the other day. I don't know what it was.
Thermal paste.
No, wasn't it the UV stuff?
Or was it?
I think so. I'm not really sure. Thanks for the stream, Jessa. It reminds us that some phones are just truly beyond repair and not despair. Yeah, lots of phones are not feasible to repair. I need my face for live stream. Freeze spray it is. Be careful. Freeze spray is a tool, but it's not your first tool. It's a great tool. Sometimes it can prevent you from fucking up a board as you try to find a short that really needs to declare itself. It's a tool, but it's not your only tool, and it has some pros and cons. Alrighty, time for bed. So we will hit end stream on